Lost for centuries and shrouded in mystery, ancient shipwrecks whisper their haunting stories from the depths. What dark secrets and forgotten treasures do they hold? 1. The Galleon San Diego. The Galleon San Diego was a Spanish galleon that met its end during a naval battle in Manila Bay, Philippines in 1600. Originally built as the trading vessel San Antonio, the ship was quickly repurposed into a warship for the Spanish Navy. Unfortunately, this swift conversion came with a heavy price. The galleon was weighed down by its new cannons, causing it to tilt dangerously to one side. This instability submerged its cannon ports, leaving the ship defenseless. As a result, it sank without a single shot being fired during its confrontation with the Dutch warship Mauritius, commanded by Admiral Olivier van Noort. The Dutch forces even attacked the ship's survivors as they tried to climb aboard their vessel. The ship's fate remained buried until 1992, when French underwater archaeologist Frank Godillot led an expedition that located the wreck about 33 feet underwater. The ship's resting place, covered in sediment, had preserved a treasure trove of artifacts, including Chinese porcelain, Japanese katanas, Portuguese cannons, and Mexican coins. 2. The Uluburun Shipwreck. Unearthed in 1982 off the coast of Turkey, the Uluburun shipwreck dates to around 1305 BC. This late Bronze Age vessel was a luxurious cargo ship carrying an eclectic mix of goods including copper ingots, glass beads, and ivory. The wreck is notable for its detailed cargo list and the high level of preservation of its artifacts, offering a glimpse into ancient Mediterranean trade networks. 3. Nanhai No. 1 Shipwreck. In 1987, off the coast of Guangdong, China, divers stumbled upon the Nanhai No. 1 shipwreck lying 82 feet beneath the waves. This impressive vessel, measuring about 98 feet long and 33 feet wide, is thought to have sailed during the Southern Song Dynasty AD 1127 to 1279. It was the first ancient vessel discovered on the maritime Silk Road. Excavation began in 2007, revealing approximately 60,000 artifacts, including porcelain vessels, iron wares, copper coins, and copper rings. The ship was on a trade mission when it sank, likely due to stormy waves, and was quickly covered by silt. These finds illustrate the ship's role in the extensive maritime trade network of the Southern Song era and provide insights into the era's material culture and economic practices. 4. Monte Cristi Pipe Wreck. In the crystal-clear waters off Monte Cristi, Dominican Republic, lies the Monte Cristi Pipe Wreck, a shipwreck from the late 17th century. Discovered and excavated between 1991 and 2005, this northern European merchant vessel sank between AD 1652 and 1656. The wreck earned its name from the vast collection of clay smoking pipes found on board, thousands of them. These artifacts, along with other cargo, suggest that the ship intended to deviate from its original destination to the upper Hudson River Valley and instead sought to engage in illicit trade with Caribbean contrabandistas. The 2001 excavation uncovered over 2,000 pipes and Dutch ceramics, pointing to the Dutch origins of the cargo. However, the ship itself displays signs of English craftsmanship, possibly indicating its service with the Dutch West India Company. The wreck, found in shallow water approximately 14 feet deep, sank after hitting a reef while entering Monte Cristi Bay and unloading iron cauldron. 5. The Peristera Shipwreck. The Peristera shipwreck, resting off the coast of Peristera Island in Greece, dates back to around the 5th century BC and lies at a depth of 66 feet. This ancient wreck holds a remarkable cargo of roughly 4,000 amphorae, each weighing between 28 and 37 kilograms. This massive collection of amphorae indicates the ship was a significant player in ancient trade, likely transporting high-value commodities such as olive oil or wine. While the immense weight of these ceramic jars highlights the impressive cargo capacities of ancient ships, it may also have contributed to the vessel's downfall. The ship's substantial load could have caused balance and stability issues, potentially leading to its sinking. 6. The Sutton Hoo Ship. The Sutton Hoo shipwreck, discovered in Suffolk, England in 1939, is one of the most significant archaeological finds from the early medieval period. Dating to around 625 AD, this ship was part of a grand burial mound and served as a burial chamber for an Anglo-Saxon king or noble. The 89-foot-long ship, constructed from oak planks, was filled with rich grave goods, including weapons, armor, and intricate gold and silver artifacts. 7. The Marsala Punic Shipwreck. Near the coast of Sicily, archaeologists discovered the remains of a Carthaginian ship dating back to the 3rd century BC. Measuring approximately 115 feet long and 16 feet wide, the vessel was a substantial example of Punic shipbuilding. The Carthaginians, skilled seafarers and fierce adversaries to Rome, crafted this ship with pine and aceraceous wood. Its design, emphasizing speed and maneuverability, has led many to believe it was a warship. This discovery is one of 2 known Punic ships from this era, providing invaluable insights into their naval technology. The Carthaginians and Romans engaged in a series of conflicts known as the Punic Wars. This particular ship's design and proximity to potential battlegrounds suggest it may have played a role in these historic clashes. While primarily carrying ballast stones, the ship's lack of substantial cargo supports the theory of a warship rather than a merchant vessel. 8. The Secca di Capistello shipwreck. The Secca di Capistello shipwreck, nestled in the waters off the coast of Lipari, Italy, is a captivating relic of the Hellenistic era. This period, marked by the expansion of Greek culture and influence following the decline of Alexander the Great's empire, was a time of significant maritime trade and exploration. The shipwreck itself is a testament to this era's commercial activity. While initial surveys revealed the site had been heavily plundered, enough remained to provide crucial insights. The discovery of Greco-Italic amphorae, a type of pottery commonly used for transporting goods, confirmed the ship's role in trade. Additionally, the presence of Campanian ware, including elegant bowls, lamps, and fish plates, hints at the ship's potential cargo of luxury items. 9. The Finisterre shipwreck. Discovered in 1980, the Finisterre shipwreck dates back to the early 17th century, revealing the remnants of a once grand Spanish fleet. On October 28, 1596, a fierce storm struck a large armada led by Martin de Padilla. The fleet, bound from Lisbon to Brest, France, consisted of around 80 ships, including Spanish and Portuguese galleons. The storm was catastrophic, sinking 25 vessels and drowning 2,000 men. Cape Finisterre's treacherous terrain and unpredictable weather have long made it a perilous stretch for sailors. Its rocky coastline and shifting currents have claimed numerous ships over the centuries, making this area a notorious maritime graveyard. 10. The Santo Antonio de Tana shipwreck. Off the coast of Mombasa, Kenya, lies the wreck of the Santo Antonio de Tana, a Portuguese frigate that met a watery grave in 1697. This vessel was a crucial component of Portugal's waning maritime empire, a time when the nation was struggling to maintain its dominance in the Indian Ocean against growing competition from the British, Dutch, and Omani Arabs. The ship was part of a naval force dispatched to relieve the besieged Fort Jesus, a Portuguese stronghold under attack by Omani rebels. Unfortunately, the Santo Antonio de Tana was lost at sea, marking a significant setback for the Portuguese. From 1977 to 1980, divers uncovered the wreck and recovered artifacts revealing life aboard a 17th century Portuguese warship. The lighter-than-expected armament suggests possible weaknesses in Portuguese naval preparedness. 11. The Mahagan Michael ship. The Mahagan Michael ship was located near Kibbutz Mahagan Michael in Israel and dates back around 2,400 years. The well-preserved ship was about 44 feet long and 13 feet wide. It was loaded with a diverse array of items, including a set of wooden carpenter tools, 12 tons of rocks, and ceramic vessels. The ship appears to have been deliberately beached and abandoned, leaving behind a wealth of information about the cargo and shipbuilding practices of the period. 12. The Pessie canoe. Unearthed by chance during road construction near the Dutch village of Hesse in 1955, the Pessie canoe is an extraordinary relic of the past. Crafted from a single Scots pine log, this dugout vessel has been carbon dated to between 8040 and 7510 BC, staggering 10,000 years old. Preserved within a peat bog, its discovery fundamentally changed our understanding of early human seafaring abilities, proving that people were navigating waterways thousands of years earlier than previously thought. Measuring nearly 10 feet long and less than 2 feet wide, the canoe was likely used by a community heavily reliant on fishing and hunting in a wetland environment. Evidence from nearby archaeological sites suggests these people lived on elevated ground, using their boats to access the rich resources of the surrounding rivers and lakes. 13. The Osiris shipwreck. The Osiris shipwreck, discovered in 1999 off the coast of Egypt, dates to around 700 BC. This ancient vessel, a unique find from the 8th century BC, was a merchant ship laden with a diverse cargo, including pottery and metal goods. It was constructed using traditional wooden shipbuilding techniques with a hull designed for both durability and cargo capacity. The ship's size and design suggest it was built for long-distance voyages, capable of handling various goods. 14. The 3,000-year-old Native American canoe. In a significant archaeological breakthrough, a team from the Wisconsin Historical Society, in collaboration with local Native nations, has retrieved a 3,000-year-old dugout canoe from Lake Mendota in Madison. This canoe, dating to around 1000 BC, stands as the oldest known vessel found in the Great Lakes region. The canoe, carved from a single piece of white oak and measuring about 15 feet, was discovered by Tamara Thompson of the Wisconsin Historical Society during a recreational dive in May. The location of this find is notably close to where a 1,200-year-old canoe was recovered in November 2021, suggesting that the area's shoreline may have changed significantly over millennia. Currently, the canoe is being prepared for preservation at the State Archive Preservation Facility in Madison. This process, which will involve extensive cleaning and freeze-drying, will help ensure the canoe's preservation for future study and display. 15. The Gozo Phoenician shipwreck. Discovered in 2007 near the island of Gozo, Malta, the Gozo Phoenician shipwreck is an extraordinary underwater archaeological find. Lying at a depth of 360 feet, it's one of the deepest shipwreck excavations ever undertaken. This ancient vessel, dating back to the 7th century BC, serves as a time capsule of the Phoenician civilization. The ship's cargo, incredibly well preserved due to the deep sea environment, includes a mix of stone and ceramic objects such as stone querns used for grinding food and urns meant to hold the cremated remains of the deceased. 16. The Imperial frigate Ertugrul. In 1889, the Imperial frigate Ertugrul was launched in Istanbul, a symbol of Ottoman naval prowess. However, this majestic vessel met a tragic fate during a diplomatic visit to Japan in 1890. Caught in a devastating typhoon off southeastern Japan, the frigate was destroyed, claiming the lives of 540 of her 609 crew members, including the commander. The wreck was rediscovered in 2008, initiating a detailed excavation that lasted 6 weeks. Divers conducted 144 individual dives across 2 excavation areas, recovering over 1,000 artifacts from the site. Among the finds were porcelain, glassware, and a range of copper alloy objects like nails and screws. These artifacts, although fragmented due to the disturbed nature of the site, provided a fascinating glimpse into the ship's cargo and the lives of those aboard. Notably, the team found fragments of decorated lead or pewter plates, potentially gifts intended for the Ottoman Sultan from the Japanese Emperor. As excavation continued, more complete items and personal effects emerged, shedding light on the crew's daily lives. A notable discovery during the excavation was a fragment of a human skull and a finger or toe bone. Rather than treating these remains as relics, they were given a dignified burial alongside other Ertugrul victims at a Turkish memorial on Oshima Island. 17. The Kyrenia shipwreck. The Kyrenia shipwreck was found in 1965 off Cyprus, near Kyrenia. This ancient ship, around 2,300 years old, was about 46 feet long and carried a cargo of 500 amphorae and 27 ballast stones. It was also covered with lead to protect the hull from marine pests. The wreck offers a clear view of ancient Greek shipping and trade practices. 18. S.E.'s Fontenelle shipwreck. A 4th century shipwreck has been unearthed near Les Meravel Beach on Mallorca, revealing valuable cargo from the Spanish port of Cartagena. The ship, which sank around 1,700 years ago, likely met its fate due to a combination of navigational errors and treacherous coastal conditions. The vessel carried around 300 amphorae, or large, two-handled jars or vases. A majority of these contained fish sauce, known as liquamen, made from anchovies. Other jars were found to hold plant oils, and some may have contained wine, olive oil, or olives mixed with vinegar. The discovery of amphorae bearing with Christian monograms suggests a possible connection to church authorities. This implies that the cargo might have been destined for religious use or that the ship was involved in trade linked to ecclesiastical operation. 19. The Hjortspring boat. The Hjortspring boat, dating to around 400–300 BC, is Northern Europe's oldest plank-built vessel. Discovered in Denmark's Hjortspring Mosebog in 1921–1922, it measures approximately 62 feet long and 6.6 feet wide. Crafted from lime wood with clinker-built construction, it was fast and flexible. Designed for a crew of 20 and weighing around 1,170 pounds, the Hjortspring boat was designed to accommodate a crew of about 20 men. It was built to be both fast and flexible, capable of carrying 24 armed men and their equipment. The vessel's design includes 2 curving extensions at the ends, and the paddles were made from maple wood. The boat's cargo included a large array of weapons and armor: 1131 Celtic-style shields, 33 shield bosses, 138 iron spearheads, 31 bone or antler spearheads, 11 iron swords, and mailcoat remnants. Some swords were bent as part of a ritualistic practice. The Hjortspring boat was likely sunk as a votive offering, a ritualistic sacrifice with a dismembered horse, lamb, calf, and 2 dogs placed beneath the vessel. 20. The HMS Bounty Shipwreck. The HMS Bounty was a British merchant ship pressed into naval service. Launched in 1787, her primary mission was to transport breadfruit plants from Tahiti to the West Indies. However, the ship is most infamous for the mutiny that occurred on April 28, 1789. Led by Acting Lieutenant Fletcher Christian, the mutiny saw the captain, William Bligh, and 18 loyal crew members cast adrift in a small boat. The mutineers, after a brief stay in Tahiti, eventually settled on Pitcairn Island, setting fire to the Bounty to eliminate any evidence of their crime. 21. The Mazarin II Shipwreck. The Mazarin II shipwreck was unearthed in 1995 off the coast of Mazarin, Spain. This vessel, which sank around 2,700 years ago, is a significant find from the ancient Mediterranean world. Measuring about 60 feet long, it was discovered loaded with a diverse range of cargo. Among the artifacts recovered were lead ingots, which were likely used in trade or as ballast, an amphora for storage, and a hand grinder for processing grains or other material. One of the most intriguing discoveries from this wreck is an early example of a constructed anchor made from a combination of lead and wood. 22. The Mahdia Shipwreck. Discovered in 1907 by local fishermen from the village of Mahdia, Tunisia, the Mahdia shipwreck offers a fascinating look into the opulent cargo transported from the Greek-speaking East to Rome between 100 and 70 BC. Among the recovered artifacts were exquisite marble and bronze sculptures, including a prominent herm featuring the head of Dionysus. Dionysus, the Greek god of wine, revelry, and theater, was integral to Roman celebrations and cultural life, reflecting the significance of his imagery in Roman art and festivities. The ship's cargo also included 60 to 70 marble columns, intricately designed candelabra, and 23 bronze beds, as well as antiques from the 4th century BC. These luxurious items were destined for Roman collectors and patrons of the arts. 23. The Vasa Shipwreck. Launched in 1628, the Swedish warship Vasa was intended to be a symbol of Sweden's naval power, boasting impressive armament and ornate decoration. However, on its maiden voyage, the ship sank just a few hundred meters from shore in Stockholm Harbor, marking one of the most dramatic failures in naval history. The Vasa's sinking was due to design flaws. The ship was top-heavy and lacked sufficient ballast, making it unstable. Strong winds on its first voyage worsened the issue, leading to the vessel capsizing. Over 50 crew members lost their lives in the incident. Archaeologists rediscovered the Vasa in 1956 and raised it in 1961. The ship is remarkably well preserved due to the cold, brackish waters of the harbor, which slowed decay. The ship now resides in the Vasa Museum in Stockholm, Sweden. The museum's comprehensive displays showcase the ship's intricate carvings, cannons, and artifacts, providing a vivid picture of 17th century naval life and craftsmanship. 24. The Bajo de la Campana Phoenician Shipwreck. The Bajo de la Campana Phoenician shipwreck was discovered off Spain's southeastern coast, dating back roughly 2,700 years. The ship belonged to the Phoenicians, and its cargo included 10 elephant tusks, 28 tin ingots, and 2 copper ingots. Other finds included lead ore, pine cones, and wooden combs, revealing the range of goods traded by the Phoenicians. 25. The Tang Shipwreck. The Tang shipwreck, also known as the Belitung shipwreck or Batu Hitam shipwreck, was discovered in 1998 by local fishermen in the Galasa Strait, approximately 56 feet underwater. This ancient vessel, dating back to around 830 AD, is a dhow, a type of Arabian cargo ship measuring about 59 feet long and 21 feet wide. Notably, it was constructed with sewn planks, a method characteristic of earlier Arabian shipbuilding techniques. This technique was preserved in remarkable condition due to the protective sediment that covered the wreck. The ship's cargo was a treasure trove of artifacts, including ceramics from the Tang dynasty, such as both everyday Changsha wares and more exquisite Yue chelidons and white wares from northern China. The cargo also included glass from the Middle East and cotton from India, reflecting the extensive trade networks of the period. 26. The Godavaya shipwreck. In 2003, local fishermen off the coast of Godawaya, Sri Lanka, discovered a small stone quern, leading to the discovery of an ancient shipwreck, possibly the oldest ever found, in the Indian Ocean. By 2008, archaeologists had unearthed ceramic bowls and a striking blue glass ingot, hinting at the ship's valuable cargo. Diving deeper in 2010, researchers explored the wreck at a depth of 110 feet, uncovering more glass ingots, iron ingots, stone benches, and additional ceramic bowls. Radiocarbon dating of wood samples placed the ships sinking around the late centuries BCE or early 1st century CE, making it over 2,000 years old. The full-scale excavation began in 2012, revealing a ship laden with iron ingots, glass, stone querns, and ceramic bowls. The construction and materials point to a Roman origin, suggesting this vessel was part of vast trade networks crisscrossing the Indian Ocean. The presence of iron ingots shows the transport of valuables. 27. The Mary Rose. The Mary Rose was a powerful warship of the English Navy, launched in 1511 during the reign of Henry VIII. Serving as a key player in the early Tudor Navy, the ship was instrumental in England's military efforts, particularly during the conflict with France. The Mary Rose was heavily armed with cannons and was renowned for its advanced design, which included a combination of heavy artillery and innovative shipbuilding techniques. On July 19, 1545, while engaging in the Battle of the Solent against a French fleet, the Mary Rose tragically capsized and sank off the coast of Portsmouth. The loss of the ship was a devastating blow, with over 400 men perishing in the disaster. 28. The Aksumite shipwreck. The Aksumite shipwreck, discovered near Blakasaka Island off the coast of Eritrea, dates from the 5th to 7th centuries AD. This site was first identified during a 1995 survey, with excavations taking place over 55 days in early 1997, led by the Institute of Nautical Archaeology and Eritrea's Ministry of Marine Resources. The wreck, found off the treacherous reef surrounding Blakasaka Island, a rugged coral outcrop, revealed a cargo of ceramics and storage jars used for transporting goods. Initially thought to be Alexandrian, further analysis from excavations in the 1980s and 1990s suggests the pottery is of Byzantine-Palestinian origin. 29. The Pandora shipwreck. The Pandora shipwreck is the story of a British ship that got caught in a tragic twist of fate. HMS Pandora was on a mission in 1791 to capture the infamous mutineers from the HMS Bounty. However, the adventure turned grim when Pandora hit the Great Barrier Reef off the coast of Australia. The ship was discovered in 1977, lying about 30 feet underwater near Cape York Peninsula. Archaeologists unearthed a variety of artifacts from the site, including personal items, weaponry, and ship's fitting. Among the finds were pieces of the ship's structure, personal jewelry, and ceramic tiles, all of which shed light on the life aboard Pandora and the conditions faced during its fateful voyage. 30. The Antikythera mechanism, a shipwreck that rewrote history. While many ancient shipwrecks offer fascinating glimpses into the past, one stands out for its extraordinary cargo, the Antikythera mechanism. Discovered in 1901 off the Greek island of Antikythera, a shipwreck dating back to around 82 BC has yielded a collection of bronze, marble, and glass artifacts. But it was the discovery of a small, corroded bronze object that truly captivated the world. The Antikythera mechanism, often dubbed the ancient Greek computer, is a complex device with intricate intricate gears and dial. Experts believe it was used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses, as well as track the cycles of the Olympic Games. Its level of sophistication far surpassed anything previously thought possible for its time, challenging our understanding of ancient Greek technology. What other hidden tales from the past await discovery beneath the waves?